Chungos need storage too.
Spiky Bits.
Hey, welcome back, Hobby Maniacs. I'm Rob Bear from SpikyBits.com, and today I'm going to show you how to store those really big fatty models that you have in your collection. These containers I found on Amazon, I actually went through and tested out a lot of different containers to find the ones that I thought was just right for what I needed, because I have a bunch of random size, from Magnus to Mortys to Bloodthirsters to even, some crazy Age of Sigmar models like a Beetle Lady. I got some of the, the big fatty ogre, Mournfang mounts and things like that. So I wanted to make sure that I could find a bundle of containers that were safe to use, could fit all my stuff in them, and also I could get a good quantity and come back and maybe get some more in the future. So it turns out I found a great product that's made by the same people that I showed you the other cases for in the past. So this is a little bit bigger, and just like you saw in the picture a few minutes ago, this right here it has a lot of space to pretty much fit everything that GW makes model wise. And these are the other containers that I've showed you in the past. So you've got the ones you can buy separate, ones that you have to buy in a 6-pack right here. But between these containers, there really isn't any wargaming figures that you probably can't store plastic-wise. Now, for a drilled, well, all bets are off. So here's the product right here. I'm over on Amazon's site. Now, prices change and all the time, so don't worry about this, but that's the list price right there. And then you can kind of see this is made by, well, I don't know what's happening here. This is made by Iris, which makes those other containers that are great. They're made for scrapbooking. Now, the thing to remember about these containers is they're archival safe. They're acid-free containers. So yeah, you could probably go to Walmart, whatever local, get some like crappy couple dollar containers, and you're like, oh, okay, cool, I'm good. But keep in mind, they might have acid in them. They might not be archival safe. And over time, depending on how long you leave your miniatures in there, they could start to break down. It may or may not happen. I would rather be on a safe side. I've seen people's baseball cards collections get ruined. I've seen comic books get ruined because of the stuff they were stored in for a number of years. And I really hate to see that happen with miniatures. I don't know if it's a case because miniatures haven't been around as long as some of those other things, but just something to definitely keep in mind. I'd rather spend a few extra bucks to get a quality product that I know should be safe for my miniatures, should I have some stuff in the closet for 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years. My Iron Warriors are like 20 years old now at this point, so I definitely want to keep my stuff safe while it's being stored. So these containers are pretty big. They're made for legal document files, which is whatever at that point. It doesn't matter as long as it serves our purpose. It's only crazy if it doesn't work. There's a 4-pack of them. I don't think there's any model that is too big to store in here besides the Forge World stuff right there. So I picked them up. I bought some other products too, but this is the one that actually worked. And there you can see the dimensions as well. So here's the container right here. It's obviously pretty big. You can see that there's Magnus and a Morty in here. The lid is pretty well attached. You don't have to worry about any of that. And then there's the models, and you can see that there's plenty of room to spare with their wingtips right there. I mean, traditionally, these are probably the biggest models out there. I put Lariel, the Beetle Lady from Sylvaneth, in here too, and she fits. The only one I don't know, now that I think about it, is Archaon. He might not actually fit in here. So if you have an Archaon, let me know how tall he is, and I can look and see if he would fit in here. But I just dawned on me, that model might not actually fit. So I take it all back. I reserve the right to backpedal at any time right there. So to put this together, it's pretty much just the same as we've showed you in the past. You're just going to need a steel plate, some foam tape right here that you've seen in the past that we've used. And then you're just going to, I actually put a little bit of duct tape in there around the edges because I saw as it got colder, I noticed that the foam tape was giving a little bit, and I didn't want the plates to pop off. So putting duct tape around the corners, and I ordered that black colored stuff, not the gray stuff, because I think I think it kind of looks a little bit better right there. But I'll show you some shots of actually assembling that here in a second, just to make it easier. So here's the steel plate and I'll put the links to everything in here as well. Oh, it's not giving me the opportunity. There we go. So I'll put the links in here to the steel plates. They're pretty affordable. There's the smaller end case and me adding some duct tape to it right there. And there's the duct tape. It's just a standard size you can buy from Duct, actually, in the black color. And you see it goes in there pretty well. And here's the smaller lid. This comes in a 6-pack with a little roller tray. And then you can see that we've magnetized them. There's some sheet metal, or some sheet refrigerator magnets that are actually on this right here, cut to size. I actually cut the circles a little smaller if they're not the pre-cut ones from Squad Marks, which already pre-cuts them with laser and things. So those work out pretty good. But what I like to do is cut a little bit around the lip, just so if it goes over a little bit on the resin base, you don't have to worry about going in and trimming it. And then if you trim it, you might chip your paint on your base, and I'd rather just be done with it right off the bat right there. So that's kind of what I've been doing with those. Here's a better look at the container. Here's a little video that we're not going to show you now. To get these larger models to stick to the inside of this container, these big fatties, you're probably going to want to use some bigger magnets. I think on the ones that weren't, I think the ones that were 100 mil bases, like the Rick and Morty, I used these 5/16 by 1/16 inch magnets. On the larger models that were on like a 140 or 130 size base, I used a 1/2 inch by 1/16 inch magnet because they were a little bit thicker and the bases are a little bit deeper, but that gives you an idea of kind of what to expect. There's what I was talking about with the magnet sheets. You're going to want to cut it a little shorter around the edge, so when you glue it on, or when you stick it on, it doesn't kind of stick out on the edge, and then you trim it, and then you got to touch up with paint, and it's just a nightmare. Don't do any of that. There's where to glue the magnets in on the bases to get everything to stick. Tracing out the patterns right here on the sheet magnets, and I'll show you the link to those. But obviously, if you're trying to magnetize smaller miniatures like 25 mil, 32 mil, 40 mil, 50 mil, I think up to 60 mil, it's easier just to buy the magnets from Squad Marks because they're already pre-cut, and you get the feel for there. You can just trace it out. It's very simple to do. And then here's kind of the finished product that I've already showed you, all ready to go. You've got all of your big fatties in there. And then you can just like throw them in the car and take them down to the shop. I'm going to probably put my whole Sylvaneth army in one of these because I think it would fit. And there are a lot of like crazy shape models. Actually, I might put my smaller models, but I have trees, and those are going to have to go in something and get protected. I haven't even thought about that yet, but they will fit in these. But I'm going to have to figure out the bottom because the bottoms are kind of hollow. So I might have to actually glue them down to some sort of plastic card and then use those sheet magnets to the plastic card to get them to fit into this. But ultimately it should work. I just haven't done it yet because, to be honest, I haven't finished painting the army. But that's the plan when I get there. So that's it. Short, sweet, to the point. Just showed you some ideas. Showed you the new box size to go ahead and fit in there. Somebody that's got an Archaon measure it for me just so I can find out if it will fit in this box, because like I said, I would definitely like to know, because then all the plastic models I feel like will definitely fit in one of these boxes here. But don't forget, there's other sizes too. You got the smaller squad size ones right here that fit into a little roller cart. And then you've got the larger for vehicles and things like this that I put all my custodies in, and believe it or not, even in resin, they don't move, they don't pop off or anything like that either. So it's a great solution if you're willing to do it yourself for a little time investment, to get a little bit of a savings investment. But if you're traveling, if you're going far distances, you still might want to think about a more permanent solution. I still have my table war case. I've been thinking about getting a Battle Foam Magna Rack just to try it out, just to see, because I want to have that durability if I'm going on like a flight or taking a 13-hour trip to, say, Adepticon or something like that. So just some stuff to keep in mind around the locally. This is probably great for in your game room or in your storage closet or something like that. This is great, but maybe for more robust traveling, I'd consider getting something a little bit more durable. So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching our bigger and larger uncut version of this do-it-yourself Army case right there. So that's it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can be the very first to like and comment on all our videos.